ย้อนกลับไปเมื่อเดือนกุมภาพันธ์ที่ผ่านมา Walt Disney Pictures ก็ได้ส่งผมเจอรี่ HT ไปร่วมงานรอบปฐมทัศน์ของ Onward ภาพยนตร์แอนิเมชัน Modern Fantasy จาก Pixar ซึ่งจัดว่าเป็นครั้งแรกที่ JUST ได้ไปเดินพรมแดงที่ฮอลลีวูดและเพื่อเติมเต็มประสบการณ์ในครั้งนั้นหลังจากหนังได้ลงบนบริการสตรีมมิ่งอย่าง TrueID เราก็ได้รับโอกาสให้มานั่งคุยกับตัวผู้กำกับของเรื่องอย่าง Dan Scanlon ผ่านทางโปรแกรม Zoom เพื่อเจาะเบื้องลึกเบื้องหลังของแอนิเมชันสุดแหวกแถมยังกินใจเรื่องนี้กันครับ
Hearts fire
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Scanlon.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm Jerry from Thailand, a YouTuber from JUST. It's nice to see you that you're holding up okay during this pandemic crisis.
Yes. Never mind the sound of fire trucks going by.
Oh, but it's actually okay, right?
I'm okay. Everything's
Pretty
okay.
normal. Okay. Before we get into our topic today, which is Onward, I want to ask a question regarding the situation over there. How are things over there in Hollywood?
We're doing our best. We're getting by, and the folks at Pixar are working from home like most people, and trying to come up with creative ways to keep making creative films when we can't all be together. But things are moving forward.
Right. It's good to hear. But before this whole thing went down with this COVID-19 thing, I actually went to the LA premiere back in February, but I didn't have a chance to interview with you because some of this laws. But right now, it looks like our debt has been paid. We gotta speak with you right now.
Oh wow!
First of all, I have to say that the film is incredible. It's unlike anything Pixar has done before. And sure, it has some Pixar moments, but it has some breakthroughs, like some jokes, adventure with the modern fantasy.
Holy tooth of Zadar! How did you...
I don't know. It just started.
Hang on!
I think that is breathtaking and groundbreaking in so many ways. But yeah, and hands down to you and your team back in Pixar.
That's great that you got to go to the premiere
Yeah.
in LA. It's awesome.
It means it's a once in a lifetime experience, and yeah, it didn't disappoint me at all. Actually, I have a blast.
It was a fun night.
It's a fun night, yeah. And how did you guys came up with an idea of a modern fantasy adventure?
Well, the movie was loosely based on my own experiences losing my dad when I was young, and my brother and I didn't remember him or know much about him. But we always wondered who he was, and this idea came up of what if you could meet someone you'd lost for a day? What if you could spend a day with them?
Hi.
And that felt like something that would be magical. That felt like something where that could really only happen in a world of magic, and that's what led us to the idea of a fantasy world. We still wanted the movie to be very modern in the way that we're telling the story about these boys and their family, and so that made us think, well, what if we just kept it modern? What if we made a fantasy adventure but in this modern world and let the humor come from that? So that really led the animators and artists to really start thinking of funny jokes and opportunities in this world.
Yeah. Since it's based on you and your team, like your own personal experiences, I wonder which character that you identify with the most?
Definitely Ian. Ian is very much who I was in the relationship. I have an older brother who, although isn't as wild as Barley, is definitely as supportive as Barley. So, and I'm a super shy, awkward guy now, and I certainly was when I was a teenager. So I really related to Ian that lacked confidence.
Yeah, I think Ian kind of has some resemblance with me too, back when I was in high school. But right now, I'm kind of like in between Barley and Ian, so it's like...
It's a good
I
place
see
to be.
myself in the film, right? So it's like, whoa, this film really touches me.
That's great.
And I like other characters, but especially the Pixies. How did you guys make them turn into bikers? And especially another character, unicorns. How did you come up with that approach? Why did you make them like that?
Part of the fun was saying if magic had gone out of a fantasy world as we know it, how would those characters be different? And so, unicorns are always very rare, majestic creatures, but maybe now they'd be everywhere. They'd be not seen as unique in the way that we see squirrels and birds every day, and we get used to them. People will get used to unicorns. And then the sprites are always so whimsical and friendly in fantasy movies, and that was just fun, just twisting the expectation of if they couldn't fly anymore, if they'd become too complacent, maybe this particular group of them would have some new way to drive around, and maybe they wouldn't be as friendly anymore.
Fine. Dad, gotta go.
And the chemistry between Ian and Barley plays an important part of the film. I think when you cast Tom Holland and Chris Pratt into the film, I think you got the right choices. When do you think that those guys are the right ones for you?
It happens kind of halfway through the process. We wrote Ian and Barley on the page and drew them and designed them with certain character traits in mind. And then about halfway or a little earlier, you start looking for actors who embody those traits. And strangely, it took a long time to get to Tom and Chris, even though now it seems really obvious. But we found Tom first and really wanted to start with an Ian that felt like someone who could be shy and awkward in a fun way, but also very sincere. And then that led to Chris, who is perfect for the role because he can play wild and outrageous and lovable all at once.
Oh yeah. The core idea of that brotherly relationship makes it standing apart from all the Pixar films. It really nails the part in the end where, like, I'm not going to spoil anything because someone hasn't watched it.
Sure.
And good. I think that is the most magical moment in the film. And how did you guys implement that scene?
We knew the ending from the beginning, and I think that helps. The ending of the movie was really our reason for making the movie. So we were able to work backward and craft the characters based on the mark we wanted to hit in the end of the film. That's always helpful. It's not always the case on a film. You don't always know your ending at the beginning, but that was our North Star as we worked.
Before we go, I think most of the audiences in Thailand still haven't watched Onward yet because of the theatrical window that we have been deprived of during the COVID-19 situation. So can you persuade them? Can you tell them why they should watch Onward right now on streaming?
It's a quest. It's an adventure. And it's one done in a world you haven't quite seen before in more of a comic sense. But it's also for anyone who's lost someone and wishes they could spend a day with them. I think it makes you think about your life. And then lastly, for anyone who has someone in their life who's gone above and beyond for them, I think this is a movie for you. I think this is a movie you will see yourself and someone you love dearly in.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Scanlon. It's an honor to talk with you today. I hope you and your team are doing great. Stay safe. Goodbye.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks.
What we need is a spell that creates a magical bridge you can walk on. If you believe the bridge is there, then it's there. You can do this.
Onward ผู้สาล่ามนต์มหัศจรรย์รับชมได้แล้ววันนี้บน TrueID
Hold on!
ก่อนจากกันไปบอกพวกเราหน่อยครับว่าคุณคิดยังไงกับ Onward หรือถ้ายังไม่ดูก็ไปดูได้ที่ TrueID
Your boys are in grave danger!
ถ้าคุณชอบคลิปสัมภาษณ์คนทำหนังก็อย่าลืมกดซับกดแชร์กดไลค์และกดปุ่มกระดิ่งแจ้งเตือนเอาไว้เพื่อไม่ให้พลาดหลากคอนเทนต์สุด Exclusive เจาะลึกถึงวงการฮอลลีวูดกว่าใครทีเดียวที่จอดอ Just Do It พิมพ์ Just และ It ภาษาอังกฤษส่วนดูภาษาไทย